Hello and welcome back to The Movies Made Us Do It. Me and Matt are back. How are you, Matt?
I am pretty good, sir. How are you?
I am very well. Yeah, very well. Busy, but the sun's shining. It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day to be inside recording this podcast. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, I really enjoyed doing Double Indemnity. Like I said, I had actually only watched that film probably once before, and I was super pleased to see that it had not only had it aged very well, but it was actually a better film than I remembered, which is lovely. It's a nice place to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to kick us off today?
Yeah. Okay. So I will start with Sunlight.
Sunlight, the oldest film in here.
Yeah. So this is a movie that came out in 2024.
Yes.
But was, I think, major release last year. So I think it came out on all the festivals and things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a movie that I had no idea existed until I saw the trailer for it recently and was like, oh my god, it's a Nina Conti movie that she's like written and directed.
And starred.
Sign me up. So for those who don't know, Nina Conti is a ventriloquist.
Mm.
And she has a number of puppets, but her main puppet is a small monkey that she just calls Monk.
Who is featured heavily in this film, apparently.
Yes, kind of.
Right.
Yeah. So Monk is a belligerent little shit, basically, who is kind of.
Aren't all monkeys belligerent little shits?
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean,
I feel like monkeys are by definition
it does
belligerent
seem to
little shits.
like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe Curious George not so much, but
yeah, maybe. I feel like they're all They're all cheeky on some level.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly, Sun Wukong is so.
Yes.
Yeah. So Nikonti does these things, and she's got these other really good ones. If you ever just go on YouTube and look at a couple of her performances, they're real fun. There's a really good thing she does with she gets people out of the crowd and she puts on a mouth for them. These like this big plastic mouth, and then she controls the mouth and basically speaks for them.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
It's really good. But a number of years ago, she did a documentary about her and her relationship with her mentor and her relationship with Monk, and that she got to a point where she was feeling that Monk was better off when she was Monk than when she was herself. She could feel herself like falling back because she could say whatever she wanted as Monk and not so much when she was just Nina.
I imagine that happens quite a lot with anyone that creates a very successful character of some kind and becomes more known for that character. So is this film actually a about that loss of identity, or is it?
In a way, yes, but it's not specific. So she's not playing herself. She is playing a character, but it's very much her, really, and Monk. So, it's in the trailer. It's at the very start. So you start off with this character, Roy, played by Shanola Allen, who I had not known about this guy. But he's an American. I think he's American, or is he Canadian? What? I think he's American. Yeah, he's an American comedian. He does a lot of it. He's a big improv sort of guy, apparently. And apparently they met. They were doing a 30-hour improv-a-thon or something. And Nina was supposed to be in a Star Wars movie, and her part got cut, but she got to know
Nina, a Star Wars story.
Well, I think she was just supposed to appear in it. She had a small role, I think, but she got cut. But she did get to know the effects people.
Oh, cool!
And one of them who I think made the Wookiee suits. basically offered to make Nina a full-sized monk suit.
That's awesome.
So that's what she did. So she got this woman to make her
So
and she started doing these performances just as Monk.
so you're telling
Um,
me that something good did come out of those Star
yes,
Wars movies?
yes, exactly. So they
Excellent.
basically they who they apparently the organizer had bust in a load of kids or something,
Right.
and he just said to her and this guy, "Oh, go and entertain the kids for a bit," and they're like, "Okay." So they did. Apparently, got on so well that they started doing other performances. They went off and did other performances. They got to know each other really well. So then they came up with this idea that there's something we can do here.
Mm.
There's like there's two characters that we've got here that we can do with. So we were introduced to Roy, who appears to be a bit of a loser. He works for a radio station and he get called Sunlight, and he interviews
Right.
people for their stories and stuff. It's like,
Okay.
what do you do and how is this? And he's that sort of smiley like DJ that tries to get their story out of people, but doesn't really care, sort of thing. He's that sort
Mm.
of thing. And he's clearly had enough, so he's checked himself into a hotel room and he's going to hang himself.
Right.
So he's basically he writes himself. He's already written to his mum and he's left a note for her, and he's tied the rope around the ceiling fan, and he's just about to do it when at his window he sees a giant monkey. And
Right.
then the next thing he knows, he's waking up in his camper van, or actually the station's camper van,
Mm.
with this monkey driving the camper van,
Right.
and from there it's this whole thing of he she says to him, You're all right. I'm gonna drive I'm just going to this place, sort of thing. I'm just gonna borrow your camper van." And then it goes, "No, because we've got to get to my mum's house before, so I can take the note away before she gets to it." Which of course they don't reach it in time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then they decide to go on this road trip, and he
Right.
says basically you can go wherever you want in the van, but first of all, I need you to come with me to dig up my dead father so that I can steal his watch.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's this. She's sort of running away from her home situation, which is her mum was kind of uh, tricked into this relationship with this guy, um, and she died, and now he controls all of her assets. He controls the the hotel, the motel which that Roy was staying in,
Mm.
and um, I don't think she's called Nina. I can't remember what she might be called Nina. Anyway, Nina's character, basically, he's got this club. This guy's got this club, and she wears the suit and does stuff on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's decided to run away in this suit, and from there it's the case of she's running away to the. I think she wants to get to the water, and she wants they have this weird idea of having a pontoon and
Right.
um, a banana boat thing that she can drag tourists around in and stuff like that. And from there, it's this like this. They're getting to know each other and how fucked up they are, and what's they how they can come together and kind of heal each other, really, in this sort of very bizarre way. Because and you don't even see her in for ages. She doesn't even come out of the suit for a long time.
Yeah.
She's mostly just her as Monk, and there is some really bizarre flirting and
Right.
um I don't, how do I put it without being too crude? Just some weird flirting and some weird sex stuff, I guess, is what you
Mm-hmm.
would say. It's not like massively explicit or anything, but it's excuse me, it's fucking weird. But it is really beautiful. It's such. it feels like one of those, like a Jarmusch Road movie sort of thing, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
like Paris, Texas. It's got that sort of, they're driving through the desert and weird things happen, and they're being chased by this guy. Her he basically, he's going to try and get her committed.
Mm.
Her stepfather. He's going to try and get her committed, but he doesn't drive and he doesn't do this, and he's obsessed with biking, so he's going to cycle there, and he knows where she's going, so he's going to cycle to her, and you get it's, you know, the situation gets out of hand and weird things happen, and stuff like that. You find out all about their parents and all that sort of stuff, and it's really sweet and really beautifully done, and very odd. Um,
Mm.
I think some I watched it with my wife, and she said it. There was a couple of times where she was like, I'm having trouble here," but she did say it was beautiful, and she did really
Okay.
love it. And she did say, "Yeah, Nina Conti's a bit mad, really, isn't she?" And you're like, "Yeah, just a little bit." I think she's kind of said that before. She's sort of happy with that. Um, but it's really funny, and it you know, it's really sweet, and the Roy character is like, at times you just think, oh man, it's hard to decide which one's more fucked up than the other, but they seem to sort of they seem to fit in the right sort of ways, and
Sure.
you know, obviously things escalate, and I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but I really loved it. I mean, maybe it's because I like Nina Conti as a performer. I think
I'm sure
she's
that helps, but if it was a
she's great.
terrible movie, I don't think that would have won
Oh
you
yeah, no,
over.
it is not. I think it will certainly challenge some people with some of the stuff that
Yeah.
goes on, but give it a go. It's really weird, really funny, and really really sweet. It has real heart, and it's got a real sort of, you know, I would say it's got a core message of hope that, you know, things may be awful, but you can find people that will help you, and that you know, that you do fit with. It's that sort of thing, and
Mm.
both of the main performances are just wonderful. I've never seen this Shanoa Allen before, but he has this. I think he's done a lot of voice acting. He's done a lot of cartoon stuff, and
Mm.
he does have this really great voice that you think, oh yeah, you can see why he's a voice actor, because
Why
he's
he's a
got,
voice actor? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he has this. He's got a wonderful voice, and it's, yeah, it's really fun, really really sweet, and it looks beautiful. They've got some wonderful shots of the sort of, you know, just the desert, and you know, this sort of the isolation of driving between these sort of small towns and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fantastic, and I give it a real thumbs up, because it was just really sweet, and all the little sub characters that were in it are great, and yeah, it's a real fun thing, especially if you like Nina Conti. It's definitely what, you know,
Mm.
for you, if you like Monk, because she's basically Monk for most of the most of the
Yes.
movie. And when you do see her, it's like there's a wonderful, beautiful shot of the sun shining on her, and her out of the suit sort of thing, and it's really, when it turns up, it's really beautiful.
Mm.
And there are sort of times when you think, oh god, that suit must absolutely reak. It must be horrible in
Yes.
there.
I would imagine
And
so.
you do get these sort of things that you can see, that the sort of damage they're doing to themselves, you
Mm.
know, along the way, and it's, yeah, it's wonderful. I
Cool.
can't recommend it
Cool.
enough. Really, really, really fun, heartfelt movie.
Mm. Excellent. Well, I watched Mercy. Um, and yes. Well, I watched Mercy, starring Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. Mostly, there's a few other people, but it's mostly the two of them.
Yeah.
It is set in the distant future of 2029 Los Angeles, where
Oh, okay.
that no that the yes the future is here, Matt. It's here,
Fair enough.
2029. Uh, and there's a thing called the Mercy Capital Court, right? So a few years ago, this AI judge was created. And the Mercy Capital Court, basically, due to a surge in crime in LA, they've created this AI court that will try you in 90 minutes. Based on all the available data. So obviously all of your police officers have got, webcams on them and recording devices, as they do today. Yep. Presumably by this point we've resolved the issue of obviously in real life they use cheap GoPros that don't last very long, and they can't a lot of people I think misunderstand that with police. I don't think they literally cannot have it recording all the time, because the amount of data they would need, the amount of battery they would need, and the amount of storage they would need is a huge issue. I'm assuming they're past that at this point, because here everything's recorded and it's all fed back to this AI judge. All the evidence, everything to do with the everyone involved is all sent to this AI judge. Person strapped in the chair, and they're given 90 minutes to effectively persuade the judge of their innocence, or they will just get killed on the spot. They will just get.
Oh right, so we're at execution, not just like.
Well, I guess I suppose there may be prison time. The protagonist of this film, it's death.
Okay.
So he's going to be, it is going to be death. So, effectively, actually, no, I think it might, maybe everyone just dies. I don't know. You would hope that if it was a minor littering situation, you'd be like, yeah, here's your fine, and off you go.
I'm very Judge Dredd.
Yeah. So anyway, Chris Pratt is a policeman's. Chris Raven is his name, which is he doesn't act cool enough to be called Chris Raven, in my opinion. His name is Chris Raven anyway, Detective Raven. He was a big supporter of this AI system, big proponent of it. He was part of the major arrest. There was a major arrest that led to kind of the proof that this system worked. He was part of that. Anyway, sometime later, he lost his partner in a horrific incident, and he turned to alcohol. He became an alcoholic, and he was quite abusive to his family at times due to the alcohol, because he was grieving and he was messed up. Anyway, he wakes up on this day in 2029, the distant future of 2029, and is told that he murdered his wife. He has no memory of this, but he was very drunk. So he's like blackout drunk and doesn't remember a goddamn thing. The opening of the movie I thought was actually quite effective in that way. He wakes up in the chair and he's like, I literally don't remember anything, and the countdown starts, and the judge is like, hey, I'm the Rebecca Ferguson, who is great in most roles. She's like, oh, you're here, you're trying for the murder of your wife, and you've got this much time to prove it. So then, to prove it, the potentially guilty party has full access to the AI's files and recordings and all the evidence and everything, to try and prove their innocence. And so what we have is a film of a man sat in a room for 90 minutes, trying to prove to this AI, which I think initially says it's like 97 or 8% chance that he's guilty. Right. And his aim is to try and get that down to, I think it's like lower than like 90% or something, to avoid immediate execution. Okay. So he basically has to prove that he's innocent in this 90 minutes using all the powers of the AI. So again, it is a movie of a man sat in a room, and it's just pretty much most of the movie is Chris Pratt, Rebecca Ferguson. It does occasionally, because he does have access to contact people, he does contact fellow police officers to try and help solve the murder in the time. Of course, many of those officers responding to the murder of his wife. They're on scene at the murder of his wife when he calls. But this AI obviously has supreme ruling over everything, and the AI gets on the phone and is like, this is the Mercy Capital Court. Please respond to this person's question. Please respond to Raven's questions and whatever. So it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's not. It's 100 minutes long. This is a film. It's an interesting idea, but this is a fucking YouTube short at best, right? Like, it's just one of those situations where you're like, this is just, it's far too long for what it's trying to do. It's an interesting idea in principle. I don't know how to actually talk about my primary issue with this movie without spoiling this movie.
Okay.
Other than to say, and this is just the plot. There are other issues with this movie, but in terms of the plot, I assumed when I started watching this movie, this is trying to dance around spoilers as much as possible. I assumed when I started this movie that this was going to be an anti-AI movie, and it was going to be like, the AIs are bad, the AI judges are bad, and clearly this is a terrible idea, and isn't AI horrible, and all of that. Right. I thought that was this. I assumed that was this film's message. If that is this film's message, it's not delivered particularly well, because the AI, not only is the AI doing the best it could with the evidence provided, it turns out that there was a big conspiracy and evidence was hidden, so the AI would never have fucking had a chance, and a normal judge would have failed. Also, the AI at some point becomes somewhat sentient and starts helping him against its own programming. So the AI, by the end of the movie, is not really this cold calculating AI played by Rebecca Ferguson, which would have been far more interesting as a premise. Like, you're fighting this cold-hearted AI, and you're trying your best to logic your way around this problem, to convince this unfeeling AI, uncaring AI, that you're innocent. But by the end of the movie, they've kind of changed it to where the Mercy is suddenly emotionally invested and trying to help him, and it's like, okay, what is the message of this movie? Was there a message of this movie? Was this just a pointless 100-minute? It's an interesting concept, but the execution and the plot is severely flawed, in my opinion. Yeah. I will say one major good thing about this movie, though, is I was watching it and I was like, well, this kind of reminds me of War of the Worlds from last year. At least it's not that bad. And then I looked up the director's previous movie, and it was War of the Worlds. So he's improved. We'll give him that.
I just saw that the director's Timur Bakmambetov,
yes, who did War of the Worlds,
Daywatch.
Yeah, he did Daywatch, and then he did War of the Worlds.
He did, yeah. Well, did he direct War of the Worlds?
I think he did, or he was involved in it for sure. Maybe he didn't direct it. Oh, okay, that's fair. Well, this is a big step up on War of the Worlds in any case.
To be fair, he has done some pretty awful movies.
He has.
I mean, he did do that awful bloody. It's really stylish and it's got some nice stuff in it, but it's not at all like the comic. What is it called? I can't bloody find it now. What bloody hell was it?
Well, I feel like,
Wanted.
Oh, Wanted. Yeah. That
which has got some really nice stuff in it, but it's like it's
style over substance all the way.
Yeah, and nothing at all like the comic, which was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think I ever read that comic, so I was indifferent to that. But I agree, the movie was style over substance for sure. So I think it's just far too long. It becomes really dull as the movie goes on,
Oh, dear.
And for a movie, it's only 100 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But it just drags. I don't know what they were trying to say here. I assumed when I was watching a science fiction piece about an AI judge that there was going to be some interesting commentary, and I walked away from this one confused as to what commentary they were trying to give me. Honestly, I was I don't quite know what message you're trying to give me here.
Is it pro AI then? Is it saying that AI
Well,
is
maybe,
bad?
maybe, but the whole movie is kind of like the whole movie kind of sets itself up to be anti-AI.
Yeah.
And I guess you could say it's still anti-AI by the end because she kind of glitches out and becomes friend. It's weird. It's just a confusing narrative of in this movie.
Okay.
I think it's far too long. It could have been a short. Chris Pratt's fine. You know, Rebecca Ferguson's great as always. You know, they're two
Yeah.
capable actors, and if you're gonna watch someone strapped in a chair talking to someone else for 100 minutes, you could do worse. And you know, you could. Well, you could. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to harp too much on War of the Worlds, but if it was Ice Cube in the chair, I'm like, I don't know, man. Do I want to sit here for 100 minutes of just him sat in a chair again? I did that last year. You know, and he's a charismatic guy. Don't get me wrong, but you know, Chris Pratt does some great acting in this. You know, he adds that emotional weight that you would want. He's very good at that kind of. Not only am I massively hungover, I'm completely confused that I'm here, but I've also just been told I've killed my wife. I'm completely heartbroken, and oh my god, what about my daughter? And there are some nice bits. I would say I think this film has been massively panned. I don't think it's like as quite as bad as what people are saying, but it's certainly not a good movie. It is only 100 minutes long, so if you're kind of interested, maybe. Now, I'm not a big fan of Minority Report, but Minority Report is a far better kind of this kind of you're guilty already movie, you know, like we know you're guilty movie. It's an interesting concept. It's bloated, far too long, and a bit of a mess. But an intriguing premise. You know, the premise is fine. The premise hooked me to watch the movie, so you know.
Yeah, I was going to watch it for the next.
Well, I would be interested to see what you think. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying, but it certainly isn't very good.
That's made me want to watch it a little bit more because I was sort of dreading it, and like you said, I did see the trailer and think, oh god, it looks like a terrible version of Minority Report, and I do quite like Minority Report. I
like Minority Report in some ways. There are bits that frustrate me with Minority Report that they should have addressed, and then I probably would have liked it a lot more. The problem with Minority Report, as opposed to this, in this, is like someone's killed your wife, they're already dead, and we think it's you. Minority Report is you're gonna kill someone in the future on this date at this time, and so you're guilty already. And that's fine as a premise, because that's the whole idea. There are the precogs or whatever they're called, and they can tell the future. Great, awesome. The problem I have with the movie, and I know this is, in theory, part of the movie's narrative, is that it's like, dude, all you need to do is just fucking hide somewhere until that timer runs out, and then you're innocent. That's all you need to fucking do. And I don't think at any point Minority Report does a good enough job of showing me how he can't escape that, how he can't just fuck off. Just go away. Like, and it's like he keeps going back, and you're like, dude, to prove your innocence, all you need, literally all you need to do is leave town or go somewhere else. And I feel like if the movie had shown him trying to leave at points and kind of getting drawn back in, some like almost like fate is kind of forcing its hand.
He does get baited. The whole point is that,
dude, nothing would bait
bad guy does bring up he's got a missing son, and he thinks this person might have killed his son. So there is that sort of thing of bringing.
There is that, but I'm sure we can come back to my son in my missing son in a day's time when I'm innocent, and you will probably want to help me because being a detective, once you know I'm innocent, this will all be fine. Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent there, but Minority Report does a better job than this, obviously. You could do worse. I mean, it's like I said, it feels like, to me, a movie rental from the 80s or 90s. You know, one of those cheap ass.
Not so
you know,
bad.
And you watch it once and you're like, fine. whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It's all over the place. But a lot of those movies used to be all over the place in that way.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
there's stuff to like in it though. I don't think it's all bad, but hard to recommend. But it's so short. And it has got some interesting bits. So yeah, if you're curious, give it a go. It's short enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go anyway.
I'd be interested to see what you think for sure. Anyway, what else have you watched?
So shall we go for Crime 101?
We can go with Crime 101, the other movie that I have actually watched. So, directed by Bart Layton and starring everybody. Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Halle Berry, Nick Nolte.
Talking of names, I mean, Bart Layton, that sounds like a 1930s hero, doesn't it?
It kind of does, yeah.
A Shadow or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, it's got a great cast.
It certainly
Jason
does.
Lee pops up for 5 minutes, you know.
Yeah, it's an all-star cast. So again, we haven't escaped LA. We're still in LA.
Yeah.
And in this, Chris Hemsworth plays Mike, who is a thief with a heart of gold. He is a jewelry thief who carefully plans his he's super careful and meticulous in his planning so as not to kill anyone while he does his robberies. He's never killed anyone in his life. Meanwhile, we have Mark Ruffalo's character, who is a detective who believes he is onto this thief. He's like, no, this thief has got a specific MO. Like, he's been tracking him over the years, and he's like, no, this thief, he never kills people. Like, he's
seen the suntans, and he's got the sex wax, and he's figured out that oh no, that's a different movie. Sorry,
that's a different movie. Yeah, that's not this movie. He's onto him. He believes he's onto this elusive thief. I think everyone else doesn't believe in this serial thief theory that he has. He has a theory that somewhere out there is this thief with a heart of gold who steals jewels, but generally is a good person and won't kill people, unlike every other thief in LA, apparently.
Yes.
Because the assumption is that if it's a jewelry theft where nobody died, he's like, that must have been Mike. Sure. Meanwhile, Halle Berry, who she is
she's an insurance
broker, right? She's an insurance broker.
Mm-hmm.
And she works for a company who. Sorry.
Claims assessor, is that sort of what she does?
Yeah. I mean, she works in insurance and high-end insurance, dealing with very rich clients. And in this movie's own words, she is quote unquote aging out. She's now in her 50s, and popular belief within that company, at least, is that women are hired in that company to do to get the insurance claims that men can't get, and the whole ethos of the company is that, well, if you're a woman, you're there for your looks and you're there to charm them, and you're getting a bit old for that, Halle Berry, even though you still look amazing. Whatever. But anyway, so that's her thing. She's in a company that's treating her badly. She's been asking for. I think she was brought in with all of this promise, right? They promised her the world.
She was supposed to
go up into upper management
years ago. Basically, the guy who came in after her was promoted almost straight away.
That's right. And she's been stuck where she came in, effectively.
Yeah.
And so these paths all kind of intersect. And we see Mike meet with the insurance broker, and together they form the plan for this big diamond heist.
Yeah. You've also got the sort of added complications of the thief's handler, or sort of go-to
Yes.
man, the guy he sort of,
He tells him to go fuck himself. Yeah.
yeah, because he says that he's lost his nerve, so he knows that he comes up with these good plans for robbing stuff, and he's already told him that his next one, so he gets a fucking amateur to do his job before he can. So you
Yes.
get Barry Keoghan as this young punk thief who doesn't have the same scruples and is complete fucking amateur. Actually, he does have a little scruples because when he does do the jewelry store robbery and he sees the kid and he finds the baby, he does freak out and he does do his best to not get the baby shot.
There is
so
that.
He does have a little bit more scruples than the others, but he's got no problem beating the shit out of people and shooting people. Other than that,
no, I mean the idea is that he is kind of the opposite of Mike.
Yeah,
he's willing to go there and do the things that Mike certainly wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did you think of Crime 101, Matt? It's long silence.
I thought it desperately wanted to be a Michael Mann movie.
I agree.
It really wanted to be.
For the most part, I enjoyed this movie, but
it wasn't terrible.
No, it's okay. It's a C+ movie that thinks it's an A+ movie.
Yeah,
I think it's too long.
It's definitely too fucking long.
Yeah,
and the worst thing is that it's too long, but there is stuff that it does that you kind of feel
it doesn't flesh out
story. Yeah, exactly. And
it focuses on all of the wrong things at times, and you're like, why are we focusing on this rather than
And I think the worst thing for me is that it's trying to be Heat, and the main difference for me is in Heat, most of those characters I want to spend time with.
Yes, absolutely.
You learn about those characters. You kind of like them, even the bad ones. You know, the thieves. They've all got their problems. They're all, with the exception of the one that fucking gets hired and murders the fucking guards.
Yeah,
he's just a cunt. With the exception of him, everybody else you kind of like, and you kind of see why they do what they're doing. They've all got their little quirks. These ones are just fucking dull. I never bought. I don't think Chris Hemsworth was a bad actor, but I never bought him as this robber with a heart. He didn't feel.
I honestly, I like Chris Hemsworth. I do, as an actor in many roles. I want to say he felt miscast in this role.
Yeah, he did.
Like I don't know who I would have cast, but Chris Hemsworth just.
I think that role needed a slightly less superhero looking guy.
Yes, I was. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, who would I cast? And it would need to be someone less superhero-y and less buff and kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm struggling to think of someone off the top of my head, but
I thought Mark Ruffalo's character was boring as fuck.
I thought he was fine in the role. I think they were, I thought he was fine playing the role, but it was a very cookie cutter cop role. It was like cop from any other movie, detective from any other movie.
Every other cop was an asshole. All of the cops were dicks.
Apart from him.
He was, he was the only.
He's the one good cop in LA. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, but Heat doesn't do that. Heat has all the coppers in Heat are actually good coppers. They're all, again, they've got their problems. They've got their bits, But these guys are just cartoon villain cops, really. It's like, you've got your stupid theory. I don't care. I'm your boss. You're going to do what I tell you and all that. It's like, what? Really? Is that how? No.
I mean, how difficult would it be to say, like, yeah, I know your theory. I appreciate it, but like, we need evidence for that. So until then, continue. You know, like I don't know.
And I mean, the Holly Berry thing was again fine, but
I actually thought she was probably the best part of the movie. Like I actually quite liked her bits more than most. You know, because there was a character there. There was a good story there.
yeah.
There was some interesting stuff
Which
going on with her.
Which kind of fizzles out.
Yes, annoying, but this is it, right? You were saying about the length of the movie and what they choose to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of disappears towards the end of the movie, and it's like,
yeah,
don't worry about her, and then we'll come back to her right at the end, and it's like, no, that was a really interesting character, and I was actually quite kind of invested in her story more than anyone else's, to be honest.
I thought maybe she was going to get slightly more involved with the eventual crime, and that she
with
was
the eventual heist, yeah.
Yeah, even if she wasn't going to be obviously in the fucking room.
No.
She could have helped some other way, or it would have been a
well,
lot more.
Or she could have. You could have had some kind of plot whereby she would need to be involved. You know, they do it as part of the insurance broker work or something. You know, something. But all she kind of ends up doing is telling him how to do when the best time is to do it, and then she walks away and we don't see her again. And it was like, well, and at one point she's staying at the cop's apartment as well, which felt like that was going to go somewhere and just doesn't really go anywhere. And
that was weird, wasn't it? It was like, oh, they meet up at a yoga class, and they like,
that felt really, really forced and awkward. That stuff, if I'm honest.
I mean, trying it
is too many like coincidences going on here.
Yeah, and they're like the least suited couple. Like, I couldn't imagine Halle Berry giving him the time of day, let alone.
Well, I don't think she did in the movie anyway, but it just felt kind of.
She dismisses him when when she goes to him to talk about giving that guy the polygraph and that. The initially there's that sort of dismissal, but again it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's a frustrating. It's a frustrating film. I will say, I did enjoy it. I like the movie. I don't hate it or anything. I did like it overall. I did feel it was a little too long. I think it's well directed. I think visually, it was quite well directed, well lit, well framed.
And some of the chase scenes are really good. The chase scene,
yes, very good.
Of Hemsworth chasing down Barry Keogh when he's on the bike, and they're going through LA, and he's going. That was really cool. That that reminded me of some of the scenes from Drive. That's it had some really nice. Yeah, visually it's great. There's some wonderful sort of shots of LA and the traffic and all that sort of stuff were really good. And yeah, it is pretty well directed. It's just sort of dull. It doesn't have any of the heart you need. Didn't have. I didn't.
And for me, Halle Berry's insurance broker for me is the closest it came to heart, and then they didn't focus on it enough and went and kind of left her and went somewhere else. It's an interesting one. I enjoyed my time with it for the most part, but it is quite frustrating due to the characters for the most part. Like I said, I didn't dislike Mark Ruffalo's detective, but he was like the most stereotypical detective. He's like, you could bring a detective from any other movie and shove him in this movie.
And then what the standoff at the end.
Yes.
Now that was annoying as fuck. Just them screaming at each other. Draw the gun, draw the gun, draw the gun, draw the gun, draw the gun. It's like this is going on too long.
It's going on too long for a because I like the setup, right?
Yeah,
I do, without trying to spoil it. I like the setup, and I knew where it was going to go, obviously, at that point, because they hint very heavily at a moment. A character picks up something, you're like, okay, that's where that's going to go. Cool. But the yelling back and forth, you're like, no, just get on with it. Like, there's no need for this. There's no need for this.
It got to the point where it was becoming parody.
It makes you want to skip forward a couple of frames, just like skip.
with Ruffalo's character, that they kind of set him up as this good guy, and what he does at the end, I sort of think, well, that kind of, I mean, try not to spoil the end, but
I know, I'm trying not to
sort of,
myself. It's
it
difficult.
compromises his character, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And I thought, well, that just
I
makes
mean,
him like
and
the other cops now.
yeah, it is kind of like on the one hand, it's like it's fine if the character had always been like that, but it kind of almost feels like at the end of the movie, he gets rewarded for just being as shit as the other cops.
Yeah,
They're just like, yeah, well
yeah.
done. Here's your
Mm-hmm.
prize. I mean, the movie literally ends with him getting rewarded.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it is weird. It's I don't know. On the one hand, it's like, no, that's a lovely ending that he did that, but it's kind of wrong for the character you've portrayed throughout the movie to that point.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It feels like a different character all of a sudden. But yeah, I like I said, I enjoyed it. I feel like I've been shitting on it now for 20 minutes, but I did enjoy it. I liked it. It's just not as, like you said, it desperately wants to be Michael Mann, and it ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
No.
it's just not there. It's just not there. It's fine. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with it. I did find it a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it overall, and it is very well directed, and
Yeah.
for the most part, is well acted. I do feel like Chris Hemsworth was miscast though, and it's bugging me that I can't now think of another actor. I'm trying desperately to think of another actor, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
the thing is I think the problem is that a lot of the the actors that I would think of for that part, again, are, like a Chris Pratt or stuff, and you still think, well, that's slightly too more superhero than I would like. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I can't think of an everyman actor at the moment. Like
Yeah,
a sort of,
I mean,
I don't know.
maybe like an Adrian Brody.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Or I think like
Not Adrian Brody in Predators, but Adrian Brody in any other movie.
yeah,
Like someone who can,
I mean,
someone who feels a bit more vulnerable and kind of because he can do kind of both. He can kind of
yeah.
oh, I don't know. It did feel like, I don't have a better suggestion, but it did feel like Chris Hemsworth was miscast.
It did. I certainly felt like it for me.
Well, I felt exactly the same. So yeah.
There were lots of little threads that you just sort of think, you could have done something with that. You could have, maybe worked on that a little bit more. But it doesn't. It doesn't go anywhere. And it's quite a frustrating movie at times.
It's frustrating because it could have been great. I think.
I think so. I think it could, with a few tweaks, it probably could have been not quite the same level as He ever, but
no, but it could have been a very good movie. I think
it could have been
shorten the length, tighten up some of, or keep the length, but show us more of the the more interesting threads of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but yes,
I mean, pick two people to focus on better than keep moving through all the other things that we don't need. Like,
yeah, I mean, arguably, do we? Yeah, arguably, do we need the cop at all?
No, not really.
Not really. Maybe that's what you need to lose, and then the rest of the movie probably works a little better. But
they wanted their Pacino and
yes.
they felt very much like they wanted that, but then they didn't give the characters enough interesting stuff to make me want that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know I've told this story before, but when Heat came out, I'm not the biggest fan of Al Pacino or Robert De Niro. I think they're great. They're great actors, and they've been in great movies.
They're great in the right role. I think Pacino quite often, for me, confuses acting with shouting.
Yeah.
Which
but I didn't want to watch the movie when it came up. The only thing was that I love Michael Mann, and I was thinking, okay, it's a Michael Mann movie. And my friend said, it was my birthday, and my friend went, okay, we're gonna go and watch that. I went, no, I'm not watching that on my birthday, you fuck. And he was like, yeah, no, come on, we went and watched it, and I sat there completely fucking transfixed. Absolutely loved every character in that
Did
fucking
you
movie.
apologize to your friend afterwards?
I did. I said, you
Yeah.
know what?
You
That
know
was
what? You were right.
you were right. Yeah, it was one of those sort of things, and those fucking characters are brilliant.
They
I
are
love
superb.
just the sort of the little things like when they're. Where one of my favourite scenes is when Al Pacino and the guys they go to the docks bit, and they're walking around. They're sort of trying to find out what's it, and he suddenly realizes, oh, we've been tricked. They smile because they're taking our picture. They're checking us out, and I love that whole sort of now that they both know who they are. They both know
Mm.
what's what, and it's a wonderful fucking dynamic that gets you know
Yeah, it's very good.
completely moved right up to when you get that wonderful fucking scene in the diner where they're just, you know, when it comes to it, I'm gonna have to put you down. And he goes, well, I got to say the same to you as well. If it comes down
Yeah.
to it, I won't want to, but I will fucking put you down. King Brilliant, you didn't get any of that with these
Oh
characters.
no, no. Well, they don't fucking meet until the end.
Yeah,
They have no interaction whatsoever until the end of the movie. They don't even know what each other looks like. So you
no,
can't have any of that meaningful interaction or dialogue because
no,
they literally don't meet at all through the entire film.
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I'd recommend it as a watch at least once.
I'm
But
I'm
yeah.
not sure how much I could recommend it because I think you liked it more than I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's I would say it's a good looking movie and it's mostly well directed. Some the chase scenes are really good, so yeah, maybe you'll go on that. It's not a terrible movie.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely didn't need to be fucking 2 hours 20 minutes.
No.
That was there was a number of looking at the watch
Yes, for sure. Me
moments.
too. But yeah. Anyway, that was Crime 101. Anyway, you have watched another movie.
I've
Assume.
seen
Mm,
Pretty Lethal.
pretty lethal.
Yeah. So I saw the trailer for this and thought that looks fucking awful. I'm totally gonna watch it.
Yeah. I went in a different direction. I didn't watch it.
So,
I thought it looked awful and I didn't watch it. So.
so this is about a group of ballerinas, who sort of squabbling ballerinas who are going to I think it's Budapest for this big ballet performance that they're going to be representing America in this big
Sure.
production.
Uh huh.
Um, when they get there, their plane is diverted, and they end up having to take a bus across country, which breaks down, and then they seek shelter in a sort of inn, come fortress, come nightclub sort of place, hotel sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is run by Uma Thurman's uh, sort of mob boss, who, well, she's the boss of this club, but she has a boss that she is, subservient to.
Yeah.
Um, and she was an ex ballerina, um, and she's bitter about that. But you find out the reasons for that later. So these girls then basically they get there, and the son of the big boss turns up, and he's a real cunt.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants them he wants basically to do stuff with the girls. It gets out of hand, and then it's like, oh no, we've got to kill the girls, just get rid of them. um and Uma Thurman's character realizes that she can get one over on the boss. She can, if she's got evidence that the son killed someone, then she can probably not have to pay him money anymore, and she can get out of her deal with this guy. So then basically it becomes this sort of ballet girls trying to escape this horrible fortress of doom.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
um and you find that there's a room upstairs that has all these ballet outfits and ballet pictures and all these things that there's this weird sort of, you know, Uma Thurman, you find out, has only got one leg because her father basically became indebted to the boss, and he when he couldn't pay, he didn't punish him. He basically cut her leg off. So
Right.
she's sort of bitter about that. So you got
I would be bitter about that. I'm not gonna
yeah, of
lie.
course you would.
I would
Just
be a bit
okay.
pissed off about that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, um, so she's sort of you get this sort of, oh, she's kind of torn between leaving these girls not very well and, you know, just having them murdered so that she can get on with her life. Um, so the girls, you've got Maddie Ziegler, who she was in that Dance Moms, is it, or something like that? But I know her as the girl that was in the Sia videos. Do you remember those Sia videos where you've got the girl
No.
dancing? There's a really fucking good one.
Oh.
Shia
Yeah. No.
LaBeouf,
Vaguely. Yeah. Yeah.
Chandelier, I think it is. It
Yeah.
Chandelier and Elastic Heart. That's the one with Shia
Uh
LaBeouf,
huh.
and she is an amazing fucking dancer. She's really good. You've got her. You've got Lana Condor, um, Iris Apatow, Millicent Simmons, who was the girl from Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the sort of extra dynamic. Her and Apatow are supposed to are playing sisters, and one's deaf, one's not. So you've got that dynamic going on as well. Um, okay, so this movie is rubbish,
Yeah.
but what it also is a lot of fun. It is
Okay.
really fun, and the girls are really funny, and sure their squabbling can get annoying, but they'll actually do some clever things. They actually they don't do as many stupid things as you think that a group of girls would do. And sure, some of it is ridiculous and over the top. They do that. There's this one scene where they, I think it's Maddie's character realizes that she ends up with this Stanley knife blade in the block of her shoe, and she
Right.
basically realizes that she can kick people's throats out with it and stuff like that. So they end up arming themselves with their ballet stuff, the stuff they use for um, roughing up the soles of their shoes and
Mm-hmm.
cutting off the bandages and all that stuff. So they use things like that. And there's even a bit where, when when you get a character with a character will tell the bad guy everything they sort of want to know because they're stupid. In this case, she gets given a drug to calm down, and of course she's already religious and like truthful. So of course when he asks her, "Hey, does anybody know that you're here?" and she's like, no one knows we're here at all, because she's tripping balls. She's
Mm.
answering, it's a nice way of getting over that. Those usually it's just a stupid thing that someone will do, and you think, no,
Yeah.
they've actually come up with a reason for her to be an idiot. Um,
Yeah. Well, fair
the
enough.
the fight scenes are pretty well choreographed. I love. I mean, it's stupid and over top. There's the they don't have it takes a number of them to take down a guy, so they have that, but sometimes when they're thrown around and they sort of get up, you do sort of think, oh, okay, she really probably shouldn't be getting out of that. And
Oh, sure, but
there is a number of injuries that you think, no, that's her over. But having said that, it's one of those, just go with it.
Yeah. I mean,
um,
that's it. It's like, do you want this movie or not? Really, at that point.
yeah, exactly. And I still haven't seen the ballerina.
Mm.
It's I've got it, and I just haven't got around to watching it. But I think I'm going to have enjoyed this more than I will enjoy that,
Sure.
because it was funny, and the squabbling between so Maddie Ziegler's character is called Bones, and Lana Condon's character is called Princess. I mean, that is her naming her Princess is on the nose. It really is,
Mm-hmm.
but she is that character. Their squabbling is actually really funny, and it does get to a point where they're like, actually, no, we need to fuck these dudes. We need to get together, and we need to put our differences aside and just get on with it and kill these fuckers, that sort of thing. I had a ball with it. It is
Mm.
it's not a great movie by any stand, but it is funny. It was the trailer doesn't come across how funny it is.
Right.
These girls are
Okay.
actually genuinely funny.
Mm.
They have some really like lines. Some really snarky lines that work. They're not just horrible snarky teenagers. They're actually they can be sweet, and they can and I wanted them to survive. Which is one of
Well,
those,
that is good. That's a good sign. I mean,
yeah. Usually in this sort of movie,
you
you
just want them all to
kind of
die. That's it. Yeah.
want them to die, but I actually thought they were funny enough that I wanted them to survive. And you've got Uma Thurman doing um, Russian accent, sort of completely over the top silliness, and she knows what movie she's in, and she's having a ball with it.
Yeah.
All of the sort of bad guys are suitably horrible and deserving of their final fates, as it were. Um, the ending could have been a little better. It does sort of end, and you're like, oh, okay, that could have been a little more fleshed out, a little more fun, but it's okay. It's fine. And then the actual ending is you could see coming, but I was happy with it when it happened. It's like, no, you deserved it. It was silly enough, and you deserved it. I'm fine with it. Um, yeah, I had a real ball. I would recommend it on the basis that it's an hour and a half long. I thought it was genuinely funny. The fight scenes are good, are pretty good. Um, and I liked them. They were quite they were fun. Um, it's not going to be, there's no ground is being, you know broken here. No, there's no something, but it's just a fun movie that had some really nice action scenes in it. Give it a
Hmm.
go. I
Cool.
I think you would enjoy it. I think because
Yeah.
it is just big, dumb, and silly, and it knows what it's doing.
Yeah. Well, fair. Maybe I will give it a go. Maybe I will. Um. And finally, you have, I believe, I'm assuming, finished One Piece
I
season
have
2.
indeed. So
Yeah.
also watched season 2 of One Piece.
I still haven't started season 2 of One Piece, but there we go. I
Um,
will.
well, I mean, we all know how season 2s of Netflix shows go.
Season 2s of some very successful shows as well. have,
Yeah,
have gone, yeah.
they've got they've got a very hit and miss
Yeah.
attitude to their season 2s. I am pleased to say this knocks it out of the park. It's
Excellent. I'm really glad.
still wonderful. It's still really good. You get introduced to a number of new characters that are wonderful. Um, all of, what I love about this show is almost every one of the main characters are really good and really fun, and
Mm.
it feels like they know what they're doing, and they all feel like they're enjoying themselves. They all feel like this is where they want to be. You know what I mean? There's which is a weird thing to say, but there are plenty of shows where you can tell that actors don't really give a fuck about the characters they're playing. Really,
Yeah.
these people are having a fucking ball with this show.
Mm-hmm.
So you get
Yeah.
that obviously it's but they're at the Grand Line now, and they're moving forward, and they're still being chased by the Marines,
Yeah.
and they're still being chased. They're still having encounters with Buggy and stuff like that.
Uh huh.
Um, you get some. wonderful dynamics between the crew. I mean, one of my favorite things is that it with the amount of characters you've got on the ship, it could easily evolve into someone gets overlooked, or it all devolves into petty squabbling, and it just becomes annoying. They avoid
Mm.
that really well.
It's
You know,
that's a real tightrope to,
yes,
you know.
and
It's
they manage
difficult to
it.
navigate that. It's a fine line.
Yeah, and I think for the most part they really managed to do it
Well, I
really
thought they
well.
did it very well in the first season, so you
Hmm.
know, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got a couple of new characters that have turned up. What, what is the name of that? Is it Wednesday? Miss Wednesday, I think she's the new one. See, I've never seen the anime, and I know a lot of the anime fans don't like this because I think it's very truncated. Um,
Sure.
but but for me, I utterly enjoy this. They're all such fun characters. Monkey could easily be one of the most annoying characters.
Oh, if mishandled,
Yeah,
100%.
but uh, could probably gonna ruin his name now. Sorry, Inaki Godoy is
Mm.
still utterly charming as Luffy, and he still just has the right balance of annoying and sweet that never becomes a chore to watch. It's
Yes.
still you still believe his good heart. You still believe, that these people would be inspired by him, and that he's doing what he should be doing. He's just got a great life, and everybody sort of agrees with him. You get
Yeah.
great. You got new bad guys. You know, uh, Miss All Sunday is really good. I'm guessing she's set up for bigger things to come. Um, but what's his name? Desmelchin.
Hmm.
He's number three, and he's got this candle wax power, which is ridiculous. There's this one of the things I love about this show. It's so over the top and so silly that you just have to from the start. You just have to go with it or not. It's one of those shows where
Yes.
it's like it's so silly that if you can't cope with it, then just walk away.
I think the good thing with shows like this though is you'll know probably by the trailer, if not by episode one. You won't get past episode one before you've made your mind up whether this is for you or not.
Yeah,
If you've got to season two and only now are you deciding this, I'm not sure how you got to this point.
yeah, yeah, and they do a wonderful job of continuing it. And you get these wonderful little. There's a wonderful episode with this whale, and my favorite new character is Tony Chopper,
Mm-hmm.
who is a very tiny talking reindeer. Yes, it's as mental as it sounds.
Mm.
Who has other powers. I'm not. I don't want to spoil that too
No, no,
much.
sure, yeah, yeah. Let's not
Um,
spoil it too much.
but there's this. I think it's episode 7. Episode 7 is when you get sort of Tony's backstory, and you also. It's really fucking sweet and really fucking heartbreaking at times. And how they pull off this sort of almost sort of like a miracle of like, you've made me care about this CG
Mm.
reindeer. I really want to love this CG reindeer. How the hell have you managed that? It's just so, like, again, silly and over the top, but wonderful because it's got genuine heart. I think that's why it works so much, because it has this wonderful sort of, everybody cares about what they're doing. Everybody, all the characters are just really sweet and wonderful. And this one's got uh, Katie Siegel as a witch in this. She's playing this sort of like um, sort of Cher inspired witch sort of thing. She's got this like leather jacket and stuff, and
Mm.
she is. I mean, Katie Siegel's fucking awesome anyway. but she's really good as this sort of the doctor on this island that's a witch, and you know, people are afraid of her, and she's evil, and
Sure.
oh man, the what's his name, Doctor Hurlick. The story that goes with him and how his interactions with Chopper are so good. That was my favorite. That for me. That was the high point of the series. That the last sort of 2 episodes with Tony
Mm-hmm.
Chopper and all that stuff are so well done and so brilliant. And Katie Eagle is so wonderful as this character that's sort of telling this story to them.
Mm.
They not honestly, they knocked it out of the park.
I'm super excited to see season 2. I
Yeah,
really am.
it's a massive thumbs up for me.
It's such a relief to hear that the season
Mm-hmm.
2 is actually good.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it's so fun. I like the. I mean, this I don't remember what his name is now. But there's two. They seem to come in sort of. They have the bad guys have these sort of pairings. It's like one. There's like a number and like a day, and there's one that looks like Twiggy from the '60s. She's sort of like she's really cool with it. Her partner is this I can't remember what number he is, but her partner, his power is that his bogeys are explosive.
mm-hmm.
I mean, how fucking mental is that? That's like, really? His bogey, but it's actually really fucking cool and really gross, but
Yeah,
really funny. And you've got the new sort of marine guy. He's the Smoker, who is like constantly. He's like an '80s action hero cliche embodied. He's
sure.
like this big. He's like Guile from Street Fighter. He's got this sort of blonde sort of crew cut, and he's got 2 cigars in his gob at all times. Then he
Uh-huh.
rides this like motorbike and things, and he's like he's just like over the top. He's brilliant. He's got smoke powers. Um, it's so silly and so charming, and I really loved it. It's so fucking glad that the second season
Yeah, that's really good news.
is just, you know, and all the new characters they introduce are really fun. They all, you know, fit in really well. The existing characters all get their stuff to do, and they're all doing, you know, that what they can. It's such a fucking fun series, and I would
Mm.
recommend it to anybody who loves sort of weird, wacky adventure series, because that's what it is. There hasn't
Oh,
been enough sort of,
absolutely.
there's not been enough weird and wacky adventure stuff for a long time, and this clicks all those, you know, ticks all those butt things, and it's great. I was so happy that it worked. Yeah, there's just some great moments, especially with the later episodes. They're really good and
Mm.
really, you know, tug at your heartstrings fun. It's, yeah, brilliant. Go watch
Awesome
it.
news. Yeah, no, that's great news. I will definitely be watching season 2 as soon as possible. So I thank you for avoiding most of the spoilers. That's
I
that's good.
didn't want to.
No. Cool. Well, I guess we should probably move on to some news. Talk
Yeah,
about the unfortunate, good age but passing of Chuck Norris. Obviously,
yeah,
bloody sucks.
yeah.
Um, well, I mean, as a big canon movies fan as a kid, Chuck
Yeah.
Norris was a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, obviously, you know, shot to fame, I guess, primarily with his, you know, his fight with Bruce Lee.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, that's the
in
first thing I saw him in when I was a kid.
yes,
That was,
yeah, Way of the
you know,
Dragon. He obviously then went on to be in many canon movies and whatnot. You know, Good Guys Wear Black and Force of One.
yeah.
Um,
The,
I love
I was vaguely obsessed with the Octagon.
the
I was
Octagon. Yeah.
when I was a kid, I was massively obsessed with ninjas. So
Uh
anything with ninjas in, I'd watch, and I bloody love the Octagon.
huh. Invasion USA, which is basically, if you've ever watched Red Dawn, it's Red Dawn but with just Chuck Norris fighting the
Yes.
whole army instead. um,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
fucking amazing.
Yep.
And of course, probably one of his most famous movies was Lone Wolf McQuade, which
Hmm.
was kind of like I think it was compared to like Sergio Leone in some ways, and obviously was the basis where I was always confused. I assumed it was a rights issue that they didn't then make the series of Lone Wolf
Yeah.
McQuade and instead made Walker Texas Ranger, but obviously that was what he did for most of the rest of his career,
Yep.
through the 90s for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, God, a massive part of my childhood and
Mhm.
adulthood, and from all stories I hear, a lovely bloke.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, R.I.P. Chuck Norris.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Walker Texas Ranger. It's such a naff
Oh,
show.
dude, it is. I've rewatched some of it and it is terrible, but it
Yeah.
is really fun. It
Yep.
was really fun, and when it came out, I loved it. I was every week. I was
Yep.
glued to the TV to watch Walker. So I'm not gonna pretend like I'm above some Walker Texas Ranger. I love
No,
me some Walker,
and it gets a fun thumbs up
and
for me.
I think it knows what it is.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah. It was
Uh,
fully aware of what it is, and it
yeah,
also
exactly.
it gets a thumbs up from me for having a crossover with martial law.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, that was the time of TV
Another
crossovers. Yeah,
good old Sammo Hung.
yeah.
Wonderful. But yeah, he will. I think he kind of retired anyway, hadn't he, from acting?
Oh yeah, and obviously it was a great age. He lived a very full life.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, it's that time. I mean, Arnold, Stallone, they're all up in age.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. But yeah, a big loss for sure. And yeah, move us on to something more positive, Matt.
So I saw the trailers for the Back Room.
Yes, thought it looked okay. I still feel like the Backrooms is an interesting idea. It always for me, I've always found in terms of things that freak me out,
Mm.
I've always found the idea of time slips
Hmm.
and things like the Backrooms where it's like you slip into another dimension kind of thing.
Yeah. Endless
That
corridors.
terrifies me. The idea that you could just be walking down the road and take the wrong turn and accidentally fall through fucking reality to somewhere else, or fall through time and get stuck in the now I'm stuck in the fucking 20s or something. Like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff like terrifies me. That idea, I think, is such a great idea for a horror movie.
Yeah.
I worry how they're gonna make it last the length of a movie. That's my main concern. But and what they do with it, because I'm assuming
Yeah.
they're going to add something in there for.
Well, I think
you know.
it started as a web series, right?
Yeah, it was a creepypasta. I think that
Yeah, it was a
like many
creepypasta.
like Slender Man and all the rest of the things.
Yeah,
And then there have been some YouTube series. Yeah, there's been
and
a
there's
bunch of stuff on the
there's a game
Backrooms.
as well, which I've
Yes.
seen people play, and the game's actually suitably creepy. I quite enjoyed watching that. I like the trailer. I think
I like the trailer. Yeah.
It's great that it's got Chiwetel Ejiofor in it.
Oh, I mean, he does not get enough work, in my opinion.
That's already elevated it. That means it's like at least we know we're going to have a really good actor in it.
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely.
That's something. I'm really hopeful. I'm
Me too.
And on a similar vein, the trailer for Exit 8, was it? It was Exit 8, wasn't it? Yeah.
8 or 9. Yeah, I thought that looked great as well. Looks intriguing. I sign me up. Yeah.
Again, it's a similar premise. It's endless corridors and
But it's creepy. I like that kind of idea. I do find very creepy, and that looks very good as well.
Weird sort of chronic hysteresis stuff, isn't it? It's sort of
yes, yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good trailer.
Me too. Now, I said when that fucking Master of the Universe teaser came out, that I thought it looked fucking awful. And I stand by that with that teaser. However, the trailer has surprisingly won me over. Having seen the full trailer that they just released, it looks like it's all happening on Eternia for the most part, which the teaser made it look like it was all on Earth.
It still has the potential to be annoyingly mostly on Earth.
That will annoy me. I'm hoping that's just the introduction.
Yeah, me too.
Because what I saw in this trailer, it looked like a real proper love letter to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. All the characters, I was surprised at some of the fucking characters in this trailer. I was like, holy shit, okay. Yeah, I do you know what? And it felt much less. Obviously, there's going to be jokes in a movie like this, but it felt much less Marvel humory in this trailer. It felt like, no, there are actual stakes, and we are actually taking some of this a bit seriously, and we are having some emotion in this. It's not just joke a second. We'll see, but this trailer has won me back over to be like, okay, maybe it will be a fun movie.
About Skeletor's voice.
I'm just glad that it's just Jared Leto's voice and not anything else. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, some of the CG looks a little rough in places.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, maybe that's a case of that'll be fixed when the movie comes out. I don't know.
Hopefully, there is time.
But I still got a lot of hope for this movie.
I do now. I'm willing to give this one a go.
You know, so far that everything looks right.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, Trapjaw looks like Trapjaw, and Skeletor looks like Skeletor.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
That already, that's a fucking bonus these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still hopeful for this one. I'm willing to give it a go.
I am hopeful now.
One that I'm not gonna bother with,
Supergirl,
is Supergirl. They still have.
I still think it looks terrible.
And I knew
that trailer's done nothing for me.
I knew they would change. They would change their tactics with this trailer as well. I knew exactly what they were going to do. They were going to dial back on the silly and get rid of the pissing on Superman thing.
Oh no, they open with that though. They still open with that, don't they?
No, not with
I thought they did on this trailer.
No, they didn't. They got rid of it for this one, thankfully. And they upped the whole, but she's a damaged girl, and you know, all that. It's like,
oh no, that's right. This one starts with Superman talking to I remember now.
Yeah. Again, on this one, nope.
This looks terrible. I'm sorry. I have zero interest in this movie, especially because I didn't like Superman either. So I'm not. If I wasn't invested in Superman, I'm certainly not invested in the side characters of Superman. And maybe if they made a really compelling movie, you could have convinced me. But no, this movie looks terrible. Zero. And is it Millie Alcock? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Nothing against her. I think she's fine. And she would have been fine as Supergirl. But this movie just looks rubbish.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the polar opposite of the He-Man one. Because the He-Man one, I had a similar reaction to the teaser. I did not like it. That trailer won me over. This one, I did not like the teaser trailer for Supergirl, and I hate this even more now that I've seen the full length one. Like, yeah, it's not for me.
The whole idea that she's dragged into this because they've hurt Crypto.
Oh, that was just so that all of the media outlets can go, oh, she's gone John Wick. I've seen that. Well, that has happened.
I just, for me, it was a case of I fucking hated him in Superman. I don't give a fuck about. I'm certainly not going to give a fuck about.
Oh god, he was the most annoying thing in that movie.
Yeah, he was awful.
Yeah,
I did the whole idea of but he's cheeky and he's a little unruly and stuff and he's charming. No, he's not. He's a little shit.
Yeah, maybe if you used a real dog, you could have convinced me. But that CGI fucking mess was just no. And he looks terrible in this as well. It's got no better.
Yeah. No. I think they think they have the next Grogu. I'm not convinced of that. I'm sure there are lots of kids that do love him. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure. But not for me.
No. He's not. It's certainly not enough for me to give a fuck about.
No.
Him not dying.
No.
And and I love dogs, but
Well,
No.
I'm fucking vegan, mate. Obviously, you know, obviously.
What you're saying is you
But
couldn't eat a whole one.
no, uh no, this is not for me, man. Not this one.
No.
I'm sorry, I wasn't a fan of Superman, and I don't think I'm even gonna watch this one unless
No,
I
I'm
hear
not.
some stellar reviews that change my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this universe is done
Oh, it's
already. Out of the
fucking
gate.
over. I mean, the
Done.
next movie after this
Which
is
I think we said after Superman, to be
yeah,
honest, but
and the next movie is bloody Clayface. It's like, what?
yeah,
Why? What are you
I don't
doing?
know.
It's like Jesus.
I don't think it's going to go on much longer after the buyout anyway. I think that'll be it. So,
I mean, and that fucking stuff about Green Lantern. Wow. Talk about shoot your fucking self in the foot. Oh yeah,
yeah.
we think that green is silly, so we got rid of the green. It's like, dude,
You're
what the
making a comic
fuck
book
are you?
movie. Or series.
Yeah, it's like, what
Congratulations.
the fuck are you doing?
It's the
What?
kind of basic thing where you eliminate people like that in your interview process. You know, you sit there and you're like, right, so how would you approach Green Lantern? And then they say, well, I personally think green is like a silly color. So what I would do, and you go, yeah, out, bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Next
fuck
fucking
off.
person. Next
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
person. Oh, so
yeah,
what would you do with Star Wars? Well, actually, I don't really like Star Wars, so I think, no, leave.
yeah. Fuck off.
Goodbye.
Off you go.
Good
Yeah, yeah,
fucking bye. We're hiring for this. You
yeah.
moron. Leave. Yeah. Bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Or my current favorite. Well, what would you do with Star Trek? Well, I'd make it Harry Potter. Oh, okay.
There's the
Fuckity
door.
bye.
There's the door. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully they'll prove us all wrong and Supergirl will be great, but I am certainly not convinced at this stage.
I will eat my boots if it's a fucking good movie.
Yes, it won't be. Don't worry. There's no fear of there's no fear of you eating boots. But yeah. Anything else?
The Harry Potter trailer.
Oh yeah, that looked okay. I saw it and I was like, you know, it looks fine. I don't know why you're making it though, because the movies were fine. And like, it just looks like it's weird, and it's so close in many ways to the look of the Harry Potter movies that I'm like, it's almost uncanny valley in places. It's almost like we've done a fan movie of Harry Potter. Like, it's weird. I didn't think it looked bad. I just don't know what the point of it is, really.
Why is it not bright and shiny? Why is everything so dull in it?
Oh, that's well.
What a weird choice.
Yeah. But I thought it looked okay. I don't really understand. You're going to make a series, and each series is fucking. Isn't it a series? This is a series, right?
It's a series, yeah.
And each season of the series is going to be one of the books.
Yeah,
which feels horribly drawn out to me. That feels like there's going to be a lot of filler. But
I mean, also, how many years are you going to have between each season? Because
well, yeah, that too.
Those kids are going to fucking shoot up really quick.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
Give it a year or two, and they're going to be like, I don't know, one of the boys will probably be like 6 feet, and the girl will be very grown up. And it's like, well, you've got to work quick. And
for sure.
They don't seem to be able to do that at the moment. They have year gaps between them, and you cannot do that. And also, and then other people have said it as well, John Lithgow ain't a spring chicken.
No. No, absolutely not.
It's gonna be.
Well, they already lost one Dumbledore in the last time they did this.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I thought it looked okay. Like I said, I just don't really understand why they're even bothering. To be honest, you might as well just put the movies back on.
Yeah.
Replay them. It's fine because they're great movies. They're fine. And they're too modern for me. They're too modern for it to be remade. Like, it just, I don't know, it feels weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, I only read half of the books. I've never
read the books. To be fair,
I think I read up to. I read Goblet of Fire. What's the one after Goblet of Fire? I can't remember. I read up to there anyway. So I had read the books. And I really, really enjoyed the movies.
I loved them. I only watched them more recently, as you know. But I thought they were fantastic movies.
They're really good. They have their problems, but
Certainly do.
I don't think enough time has passed to
No, not
do the whole
nearly
thing
enough
again.
time. So yeah, it's a strange one. It's a very strange one. Yes, we shall see. I'm sure we'll see more before its release. So I'm sure we'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
But anywho, well, actually, I already know now because we've discussed it. It's between two movies, so I guess
It's between two movies. So it's your pick. Which would you like to do?
I will pick Off Air.
Okay.
Oh, or do I pick now?
Do we mention what the choices are?
Yeah, say the choices, and we'll.
So the choice, I wanted to do a Hong Kong movie.
Yes.
So, and it may be obvious, but I'd like to do another Wu movie. So I choose either Hard Boiled or A Better Tomorrow.
And I love both of those movies, so I'm struggling. I think let's do. I'm leaning towards Hard Boiled as the kind of the ultimate gunfight movie. Exhaustive gunfights. It might be a short review. I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, it could be. It could well be.
It is like 90% gunfight.
It is.
But let's do that. I mean, I'm definitely want to do A Better Tomorrow at some point though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Cool.
Next Hong Kong movie we'll do it. We'll choose a different director. Maybe we'll do a Wong Kar-wai or a Joy Harper.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we will be back next week with Hard Boiled. Until then, stay safe, take care, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.